How you doing?
I'm all good, Jared. I'm all good, mate. It's good to see you, pal. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, dude. Yeah, I mean, like it's been a rough go the last few months, but I'm on the back side of it now, and I feel excited and fortunate to be a part of this big fight card, the last fight card of the year for BKFC. So yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good now.
How does it feel going into a fight now, Jared? As the world champion, does it give you that extra boost of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of you know fulfilling more dreams. The first one is to go and get the title and get to be on that side of it, and then the next one for me is getting to be the champ and walk out and properly defend it.
And that's what I mean. You won it against a great opponent, didn't you? And Joe Escobar, I think he was 9-1 before he lost to you, and a champion in a previous organisation. And he's got a great jab in that, hasn't he? He's a great fighter, to be honest. So it was a great win for yourself.
Yeah, he was. You probably knows, but we fought twice,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
his two losses are from me, which I'm not bragging. The guy is a good fighter. He's very tough and very very awkward and stuff. But yeah, that was a hell of a fight. He kept picking himself up, man. There was a few times I thought he was done, and he was shaky, but he kept going. So I give him props for that.
yeah. It was the first fight was a bit closer, wasn't it? The second fight it was just one way traffic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean the first one to me still it wasn't close on points, but it was the second one was much more obvious because
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the
yeah,
second one, there was a different fight.
yeah, when there's multiple knockdowns, going one direction, it's usually pretty easy to figure out at that point.
So, how's life being a champion outside of the ring?
What's that? I'm sorry.
How's life being the world champion outside of the ring?
Yeah, I mean nothing's really changed for me, man, other than you got friends joking around calling you champ and stuff, but it's again it was just a personal fulfillment more than anything. You set out long term goals that are difficult to achieve, and when you finally reach them, it just gives you that feeling of accomplishment. And I am happy and excited to see what all can come of it. Because I'm kind of like, you don't know what you don't know, man. Things can always just pop out of nowhere. You meet somebody at the fights who wants to make you a part of something else that's uh, maybe outside your normal bubble, and things can just spiral out from there. So uh, even if nothing like that does happen, I'm still a happy man and happy to be where I'm at. But yeah, we'll see where things go.
You must be proud, though, mate, of what you've accomplished. You've had a great run at this bare knuckle game, haven't you?
Yeah, man, just to really to have what I've been referring to as a late prime. Most people have it in their anywhere from late 20s to early 30s. I from when I was 29 to about 35, I had stopped fighting. I started when I was 20, and um, I didn't really know where I was going to go with it. I had a few pro MMA fights, and I won the first one, and then I lost the following two because I didn't know how to grapple, and I kind of felt like I was at a point where I didn't have enough time to, get to a top level of grappling / MMA to be able
Yeah.
to achieve what I wanted to, and that's not because of the timeline, but more so because I just didn't enjoy the shit. You know what I mean? Like I always say, wrestling and grappling stuff, that stuff's cool and it works. It's legit. But even if we get paid, ultimately, you got to do this sport just because you enjoy it and you love it. And I didn't enjoy that part of it. So, yeah, man, I took a lot of years off where typically it would be somebody's prime. But I did keep myself healthy, and in that time I was just lifting weights and trying to trying to look good, you know. And when bare knuckle rolled around when I was 35, almost 36 when I had my first fight, um, you know, it just kind of took off from there. And to win a world title, and to me, what is the toughest and greatest sport, you know, at 40 years old is I don't know, makes me feel accomplished. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like I did something outside the norm.
Yeah, of course, mate. It's a great achievement. Let's talk about BKFC in Hollywood this weekend. You've got a massive fight coming up against Mike the Marine Richmond. He's a legend in the bare knuckle game. I remember watching him fight in bare knuckle years ago. I think it was for Valor, something like that it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been about for years. What's your thoughts on this fight and Mike as an opponent?
I think it's going to be, you know, one of those fights that that the fans win. You know, like it's going to be exciting because, you know, the only time I haven't finished somebody is if, you know, they're really hanging on me, or if they're really running away. And I don't see Richmond trying to do either of those. And you know, he likes to come forward. I like to come forward, and I think it's gonna be exciting. I don't think it's gonna be um, one that goes the distance. You know, like I've been wrong on that before. You know, but gut feeling, I really don't think it's gonna go the distance. And but for however many rounds it does last, I think it's gonna be awesome and exciting for everybody.
Have you had any exchanged any words? Is there any bad blood or anything?
No, you know, I always, you know, I'm not good at
Yeah,
faking my emotions in either direction, and I honestly I do like the guy. I've met him on several occasions, and you know, chatted with him, and I think he's a good dude, and you know, his fiance is actually really good friends with, you know, Crystal, and so when I have seen them at the fights and stuff, you know, in the past, it's always been cordial and nice. Everybody's cool. You know, we've always kind of known that this was a possibility since we've always, you know, both kind of been in the top rankings of, you know, 185. But, you know, it's just finally coming to fruition. Like, if I hadn't told you this before, you know, a couple years ago, whenever he was leading up to fight Lorenzo, I was already told, I was on deck, like, hey, you're going to fight the winner of these two. And, you know, at first it looked like it was going to be Richmond, and then he got caught. And I was like, well, I guess I'm fighting Lorenzo. And then, which I was actually more excited about because, like I said, I do like Richmond. Lorenzo, I don't dislike him. He's just, you know, he could go either way. Sometimes he's kind of a dick and annoying. Sometimes he's cool. But
you've wanted to fight Lorenzo Hunt for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, so I was more excited about fighting Lorenzo at the point. But but then, you know, he decided to put on a whole bunch of weight and jump up in weight class, so that obviously never happened. But, you know, basically almost 2 years later, you know, here things roll around, and I'm finally getting to fight one of them. So
yeah. I seen Lorenzo Hunt put a video out the other day that he's coming back to the BKFC. What weight do you think he'll end up coming back at?
My guess would be 205. You know, because I'm pretty sure that's his most like closest natural weight to cut to. You know, I'm not giving him a hard time for, you know, what he got popped for and stuff, but that's just common knowledge that's out there. So, you know, given the fact that it appears he did take a little juice to bump up in size, if he's coming back, they're obviously going to be watching him really closely. So my thoughts would be that he'd have to come off that and shrink down a little bit. So, you know, and, you know, he did make 185, you know, the one time to fight Richmond, but other than that, you know, the guy was still killing himself to make 205. So my guess at his age and whatnot, that he would more than likely be a 205er. But, you know, that being said, if he wants to come back to 185, Daddy's ready.
And with the American side of it, did all the fighters get tested on every show, or is it just the big events like Knucklemania and that?
So with my experience, they definitely do it like for all the title fights / usually main event.
Yeah.
So they'll usually do like the top 2 fights at the very least, and then I believe they do one other fight at random. I don't believe that they test everybody every time, with the exception of Knucklemania 4, where he got in trouble. Like that was the first fight they had over in the state of California, and I guess none of those guys knew that California doesn't fuck around when it comes to that stuff. And I mean honestly, like from what I was told, everybody with the exception of Crystal, and then I think 1 or 2 guys on the card, everybody else got in trouble for something. So it's definitely a common thing over here.
Mustn't be a nice feeling, like if you've got something in your system on fight day, the day before fight day, you get told piss in a cup.
Yeah, about it. Yeah, it's I'm sure for any of those guys it'd be pretty scary.
Yeah, but don't do it in the first place, then you don't get in trouble, do you? That's it.
Yeah. There's really no need for it, man. If you get whatever's closest to your walk around weight where you're healthy and strong, I just don't see the need for it personally. But some guys want to get bigger and want to always or at least think they have some kind of edge as a result of it, but it probably does help a lot of things. But I've actually heard my coach say before, he's like, it can help your muscles, but the one muscle it ain't gonna help is your heart. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
hey, that's what you need the most.
100%. Can't help your chin as well.
You got that.
But your last fight was also Hollywood. What do you enjoy fighting in Hollywood?
Man, I really do. Obviously, like I have a good, kind of mental connection with it at this point. But yeah, winning my belt there, and Dave Mundell, that's where he originally won the title for him. So it's been cool for our team. But the best thing is like most of the time, around here, anytime they book just like a random venue, if you're anywhere within those last 3 fights on the card, by the time you get done with medicals and your interviews and such, the security has already pushed everybody out and sent them on their way, and you don't get to see your friends that paid to come see you and stuff.
Yeah.
And but at the Hard Rock Casino, one, in general, the place never closes, but even like the bars and stuff, they stay open till at least 4 a.m. So fighting their last time, I told all my buddies that were able to, I was like, listen, I was like, I'm going to be in the back for a little bit doing all the necessary stuff after. I even tried to skip out on the post-fight press conference last time because I was like so excited to see my friends and stuff. Yeah. But they're like, the BKFC part, they're like, no, you have to do it. I'm like, yeah, I figured as much. But yeah, so as a result, once I got done with all that, everybody was still able to hang out and celebrate with me and stuff. So it is definitely a benefit of places like that.
Do you feel like you have more pressure on your shoulders now, Jared, being the champion?
No more than usual. I think whether you're a champ or not, it's always the same thought process in the public's mind. Like when you win, everybody's like supporting you, and you're like, you're the best, man, and this and that, and they think the world of you. And then it can be your first loss, and then everybody's like, he's done. He's washed up. You know what I mean? Like it's a very unforgiving sport. So I don't think it matters if I was champ or not. You know, that's just how people tend to think.
I think it can only benefit you though, really, in a way, being champ. It's only going to push you more and give you more confidence and want you. Obviously, being the champ and winning fights is meaning you're getting paid more money as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You know, BKFC is good about that. They always pay us well, and you know that's I think a pretty common thing. Each time you fight for a title or defend it, you know, they usually raise the pay. But yeah, more so, you know, it's just about not wanting to give up something that, you know, I worked so hard to achieve. And, you know, because some people are, you know, pretty fortunate in this sport to where they're right time, right place and can kind of jump into a title fight, you know, early in their career. You know, I wasn't one of them. You know, I had to kind of claw my way to the top, and you know, that just even more so makes me want to, you know, keep what's mine. So it's a fun spot to be in.
How long has it taken you to drive to Hollywood?
The drive is only about 4 hours. They are going to fly me out, which is a, you know, 45-minute to an hour flight at the most.
Nice.
But you know, like Crystal and other teammates and stuff are going to be driving down later, and I'll end up riding back with her. But you know, that's I just kind of got to get there a little early, and do all the necessary media stuff and all that jazz. And next morning will be the very, very easy weight cut.
When you're doing weight cuts and that on fight week, do you enjoy doing the press and bits of podcasts like this, or do you prefer really not to do them and just chill and get in the zone?
No, I mean, I enjoy it. I don't know. I've gotten pretty comfortable with fighting for the most part, to where, you know, I don't have to. Things don't have to be perfect. Things don't have to be a particular way all the time for me to be able to perform. You know, the day of weigh-ins and the day of fight, I do like to relax, just because I've been, you know, grinding so hard for months, and that's the one time I feel like it's okay to finally just like relax, let your body heal some, and you know, and then the after party is always great, whatever that may be. You know, you finally get to let yourself have some fun, because I'm that guy. I just typically don't go out and have fun whenever I'm in fight camp. You know, I feel like I got to get the job done before I've earned that.
You seem so laid back, Jared. It's like you're laid down, mate. Like everything's so like calm with you. You're always calm, collected. You never get angry, or like when you came over to the UK and fought Danny, like everything was just the highest of respect. Like there was nothing there, like bad energy and nothing. Have you always been like that?
Honestly, for the most part, yeah. You know, I don't like to. I'm very open and honest about my feelings. Like, I think any fighter who says they don't get nerves, or they don't get a little scared, or just lying, you know, like that doesn't mean that you have to be overwhelmed with fear or anything like that. But I think everybody gets you know, a little nervous and stuff. And you know, my coach was talking about that with some of the newer guys recently, and you know, the way he put it, and it made sense, was like, he's like, you should get nervous because you care. I'm sorry. You care about the outcome. You know what I mean? It wouldn't matter if you're just going out there to give a public speech or something. You know, you're putting yourself on presentation, you know, on the line and then in front of everybody, and you always want to do well. So I think it's like the norm. But yeah, I typically, I don't have any that, you know, distract me from my game or anything. I usually feel like the nerves have gotten minimal for as long as I've been competing, but I don't think that I don't think anybody gets to where they just don't have any or just, you know, are fearless or anything. I think it's unless they truly don't care about the outcome. You know, if there's the guy who showed up to get a quick, you know, $500 and get punched and lay down or something, that guy may not get nervous because he knows what's coming. But I think everybody else does. But yeah, that's funny. I was talking to my brother yesterday on the phone, catching up with him, and he's like, man, every time I talk to you, he's like, you sound like you just smoked a big old fatty. He's like, why? You always seem so chill, even though we're talking about, you know, you're about to fight for the world title again on a huge stage, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just it doesn't help anything to get yourself out of sorts.
Yeah, it's a good thing though, I suppose, because a lot of fighters can put a lot of pressure on the shoulders with a mouth alone.
Yeah, a lot of
just by like just things what they say.
I'm sorry, what was that again, brother?
I'm saying just by things what some fighters say, where they're like, I'm going to do this and this is going to happen, and just being highly like vocal. Do you know what I mean? It can put a lot of pressure on the shoulders because if they get beat, they can end up looking daft, can't they?
Yeah, that's why it's tough, man. If you wanna be the guy who, you know, goes out of his way to play the heel, you know, it might get you some extra attention, but if you don't back it up, you lose, then you're getting extra attention in the wrong way. So for me, that just goes back to, you know, not faking my emotions again. Like, I know I would get more attention and maybe, I don't know, maybe in the long term, bigger money fights or whatever, if I was louder and I was a dick and stuff on purpose. But I don't know, man. It's just not me. You know, not to say that I don't get pissed off. I don't, you know, I'm sure there are times that I'm a dick, but I'm not doing it for attention. and you just you need both, right? You know, because I was thinking about the other day, like I don't follow, you know, UFC super closely or anything, but you know, to an extent, you know, I always kind of know what's going on, and you know, if you ask most people there, you know, who's your Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters, you're gonna hear some kind of combination of like GSP, you know, Khabib, John Jones, Anderson Silva, and you know, I'd say like Fedor Emelianenko. You know, those are always real common ones, and I would say for the most part, all those guys are the cool, calm, and collected type. You know, they weren't the loud mouse. You know, I know like Jones has always gotten in a little bit of trouble here and there, but again, he's not you know, crazy. Like, give me all the attention. Like, I think he gets attention by accident for some of the stuff he's done. But, you know, part I'm getting at is most of these guys, you know, made it to the top and are well thought of and well remembered with just kind of being their normal selves.
Yeah, they definitely did, mate. And what can we expect to see from Jared Warren this Saturday?
My usual, man. You know, I like to just come out with my, you know, what I call kind of controlled aggression and get after it. You know, like when the full 5 rounders happen like last time, you know, it's fun. It's a different kind of grind, but I think it's more exciting for the fighter and for the fans when 2 guys get after it hard and there is a finish. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight, mate, and I can't wait for it. But before we wrap it up, Jared, is there any shout outs, any sponsors, anything you want to give a big up to, pal?
Yeah, I love giving a shout out to these guys here at Full Blast. You know, they just started sponsoring myself and a few other people from my team, Shift Combat, recently. And the reason that I am so big on them is because, you know, it started out the sponsor just gave me a, you know, monetary donation like normal, but with my house being flooded and all that I went through in the last couple months, it was, there was a lot. And it started out just the hurricanes that caused all the problems. Everything got destroyed. I had to get rid of everything. But to kind of make things worse, there was a guy who was like a friend of a friend, and I kind of accidentally trusted him because I thought, oh, this guy won't screw me over. But anyways, he was a guy pretending to be a contractor, and long story short, he swindled me out of cash and like destroyed my house way worse in the process.
Jesus.
And, yeah, it was a big to do, man. It definitely came at a terrible time. But this guy, Chris, is his name, from Full Blast. He owns an electrical company, fairly local to where I live. So he's still a blue collar guy himself. And anyways, he's like, he found out what happened, and he's like, let me help you out, dude. And he not only brought people from different trades to help repair my house, he came himself and got his hands dirty and was working alongside us over there. So for me, that was huge, man. And it's very uncommon to meet people like that, and so yeah, that's why I'm I don't care if I ever get another cent out of them, I'm still going to be repping their brand, and there's just some really good-hearted people behind it.
Yeah, 100. It's people like that who you can call your true friends, innit?
Yeah, absolutely, man. People that show up when times are rough.
Definitely, mate. But I'm glad to hear you back on the road and not with your home, mate. I didn't really want to bring it up in conversation with it being fight week. I didn't know where you were at with it, but it's good to hear that you're getting back on your feet, mate.
Yeah. We like I said, we're kind of on the backside of it now. Like, the house isn't finished, but Chris and I are back. We just started being able to sleep back in there a couple weeks ago, and it's funny, the little things you get excited about. Yesterday, I just finally got a couch. I mean, like, we had to wait for something to be done before you could even put a couch in, but got a couch, and it was like the turning point of making it feel like, it was a home again. And so yeah, man. So it was a rough go, but like I said, it's in the past, and things are starting to look up now.
That's amazing, mate. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Jared, and I'm wishing you the best of luck for this weekend, pal, and I'll be tuning in to watch you. And yeah, mate, hope you have a safe journey there as well. Awesome, man. Thanks again for having me, as always. And like I said, anytime, whether it's whether I have a fight coming up or not, if you can use me for anything to jump on, man, just hit me up. I'd be more than happy to come on. Massively appreciated, mate, as always. Thank you very much, Jared, pal. All right, brother. You have a good one. You too, bro. Speak soon.